Hey guys, it's Rachel here. So this week we're going to actually be doing an acting tip video on finding your super objective, your objective, and your obstacles in a scene when you're playing a character. Oftentimes on this channel I do videos like audition tip videos, I like to call them, where I talk about what to bring to auditions, how to act at auditions, how not to act at auditions, how to find an agent, how to find auditions, all that kind of stuff. But I hardly have ever talked about actually acting tips and developing your character. So that's what we're going to be talking about today and diving right into, because I definitely want to be talking about that more on this channel. Throughout getting started with acting in my life these past 7 years almost that I've been trying to professionally act, I've learned so much, but specifically since I've gotten into college, shout out to my professor Dennis, but I took an acting principles class this last semester and I learned so much that I would love to share with you guys. So hopefully this video will be relatable, hopefully maybe you'll learn a thing or two. That would be awesome. Yeah, so in this video we're going to be talking about how to find your super objective, and your obstacles in a scene, and how that will help develop your character so much. So without further ado, let's just get started. So a huge part of portraying a character most efficiently is understanding and dissecting that character so that you understand each line that you're saying and what the driving force is behind that line. A huge part of doing this in the first step is identifying your character's super objective. Now, what is a super objective, you may ask? A super objective is what your character wants in a lifetime goal kind of way. So this could be getting married or having kids or graduating college, some sort of very big goal or goal that they just have in their life. It doesn't have to be that big, but it's definitely an over-amplified version of an objective. This is very, very important because it definitely brings a drive to the meaning of your character's life. It gives you a goal to work for that surpasses even maybe the lines that you're saying throughout that scene or whatever. Since the super objective is so big on like a lifetime goal kind of stance, sometimes it's a little bit hard to identify if you're just like given a scene for an audition or something like that and you don't have a lot of context. But what I would suggest doing is getting a piece of paper and writing down all of your given circumstances for that scene or for that play. Everything from your surroundings. So what on the paper, on the script does it say is in the room? What are the lines saying? What are the words beside the lines saying? Maybe they give some stage directions that can help you lead to knowing what the setting is, or sometimes it'll give you a character development word, like they say this word angrily or with tears or something like that. Just definitely pay attention to the objects in the room, the setting, how your character is feeling, what the words that they're saying, and hopefully you can write a lot down and come up with something that you know that your character is reaching towards, so that it gives you something to put a little bit of drive into your characterization. Super objectives hardly ever change unless something or someone comes in to change them. For example, if your super objective of your character was to marry George, but then all of a sudden this Max guy comes in and swoons your character, then obviously your super objective would be to marry Max. You get what I'm saying? Just to give you guys kind of an example of a super objective, I'm sure a lot of you musical theater people are out there watching The Greatest Showman. It's awesome if you haven't seen it yet. But if you have seen it, you would know, or if you've thought about it a little bit, the super objective of Hugh Jackman's character is to create a good life for his kids and his wife, right? So that would be his super objective that we can concur from the given circumstances, what the lines are saying, you know, what he's doing in the script, what we are given, that leads us to knowing that his super objective is that. So now let's move on to identifying your objective. Super important. So your objective is what your character wants in that specific scene, or if you're a character in a play, it may be over a multiple of scenes if that character didn't get what they want in the last scene, you know what I mean? But it's what a character wants at that specific moment, like in that scene. It's more of a short-term goal. Objectives are important, of course, because they help you identify why your character is saying each line that they are in that specific scene. So to give you an example of an objective in The Greatest Showman, even though his lifelong goal is to make a good life for his family, Hugh Jackman's objective in one of the scenes in The Greatest Showman is when he's convincing Zac Efron's character that he should be in the show, because even though he has his super objective in mind, Hugh Jackman's objective in that scene when they're in the bar and they're, you know, passing the little shot glasses and singing and stuff, is to get Zac Efron's character in his show, because ultimately that leads him to his super objective. So it's like a more of a short-term goal, but it also kind of relates to the super objective, you get what I'm saying? So he wants to get him in the show so that he can achieve his super objective. So hopefully that makes sense to you all. I'm sorry if you haven't seen The Greatest Showman, but hopefully you can get what I'm saying. So obstacles. Obstacles are so important because they always have been. If you think about it, no scene is good if it's just rainbows and sunshine and everything is good. A good movie, every single movie, every TV show, every something has a problem, a conflict. And this is kind of what obstacles are in a scene or in a play or something. So obstacles are the things that keep your character from reaching their objective or their super objective. And this could be anything. For example, say your character's objective in the scene is to buy a sweater, but say on the way to the store they step in a puddle, and so that's an obstacle because that keeps them from getting the sweater, or they lose $1 and then they can't buy the sweater. You see what I mean? Those are obstacles. They keep your character from achieving what they want. So identifying these things may seem super unimportant right now as I'm talking about them, but I promise they help so much. And once you start doing it for each scene or each play or each character that you get to play, whatever context, you won't be able to stop, because it not only helps you develop your character, but it's also fun. It helps you know why you're saying each line that you are, and it kind of just puts you in the place of that character. It gives you more things to think about during the scene and just packs your mind full of this character, which is obviously important if you're trying to portray the best character of this person that you are. So I would suggest writing all of this stuff down that I talked about. You know, go through it, find your given circumstances, write down your super objective, go through each scene, like if it's a play or if you just have one scene, write down your objective of that scene, and if it changes at all, write down your obstacles and just have those in mind. You can even make a score. I don't have one handy. A score is just basically where you write the subtext of your script for each line, and you write the obstacles and objectives, and intentions are also something that I can talk about in a different video. So that's what you do to reach your objectives. There's all kinds of things that go along with it, and it sounds very confusing unless you have done it before or whatever, but it really helps, I promise you. But it's just a way to kind of map out everything that I've talked about and completely pack your information into something that you can study and learn and dedicate yourself to as you're learning a character. So yes, I definitely want to do a video on like intentions and actions, like I said, is what you do to get your objective, because I think that's so helpful, and sometimes they can be hard to decipher and decide for each line. So yes, let me know if you want to see a video on any of those things that I just mumbled about: intentions, actions, on how to make a score or something like that. I never talk about this stuff, and I don't know why, but I just think that it's super helpful for developing a character. Even if you're just going to an audition and you're really having trouble connecting, it can be something really awesome to do. And if you love acting like me, it'll be fun. It definitely shows through your work. I really think that it's an awesome way to develop into this character that you want to be. So that is this video, guys, all about super objectives, and obstacles as you're identifying them for your character. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below and give me any video requests that you have, or leave me any kind of comment, suggestion, whatever you want down below. Subscribe to this channel for acting videos, sometimes random videos. I've been really trying to upload weekly, or that's my New Year's resolution, so hey. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want to, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! So this video is just going to be an update video on my life, on everything that's going on with my YouTube channel, acting, this, that, and everything else. But I just always like to do these every once in a while.